And welcome to the Geekz 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. This is Lil.
And this is Steve.
And tonight we're reviewing Longlegs from 2024. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues which he must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. Longlegs stars Micah Monroe.
Micah Monroe.
Micah? I'm sorry. Micah Monroe. I
Be careful.
Don't
She's
know.
a scream queen, certified.
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
What was she in?
She's been in a ton of shit. She was the main girl in It Follows. She was in The Guest.
That's where she was from. I totally.
She was the daughter in the Independence Day movie, which it doesn't really certify her scream queen.
I was gonna say, but It Follows. I was wondering. She threw me off. Like because she didn't look the same. It's been a while too.
No, well, she has brown hair. She's a natural blonde. So.
Nic Cage, Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt, Michelle Cholee, and others. Just others. So, Longlegs. So this has been kind of like a movie that has been getting a lot of hype around. I'll start my review. I've been teetering because when I first watched it, I really liked it because I do like these kind of FBI serial killer drama things. And this went kind of into a weird supernatural sphere that I wasn't expecting. With like the occult and kind of stuff like that. So, it's got, devil worshiping,
Hail
death.
Satan.
Huh?
Hail Satan. They say it many times.
They do say it. We get crazy Nicolas Cage. There's this one scene, and I'm like, "Ooh, I love
Mommy, Daddy."
I miss crazy Nicolas Cage. You know what? I'm gonna give it a hero. I know there's faults to it. I know there's things that I can argue, and I can see myself moving it down. But I did weirdly enjoy it. I did. It's creepy dolls, all this kind of stuff. It had all the elements to be super awesome. There are things that failed, and I think it's because of pacing. But we'll talk about it. So I'm gonna give it a hero. Steve?
Yes, hello. It is a hero. I think that there are moments of the movie that slow down, but those are usually followed with something that piques your interest again. Something big happens that'll pique your interest at the end of one of these lulls. But the lulls do happen, and that's what I think people get more discouraged about. But also, the trailers kind of made it seem like it was a Silence of the Lambs-esque movie.
Yeah,
right?
It's not.
You wanted it very, very grounded, very scientific, and it starts that way, and it starts really gritty and really like you're really into this and you're trying to figure it out, and it's very scientific until it's not. And I think that might throw some people off. For me, I'm cool with it because I think it was done in a way that worked, whereas other movies has tried something like this and it didn't. I don't know. It worked for me with this. You didn't get too much of the supernatural. Like, it didn't overdo it. You just kind of got it at the end. And you're like, oh, well, that kind of explains it. And then that pretty much wraps it up. So I thought that the acting was top notch. I thought Micah Monroe did a great job. I thought her cop boss partner, that guy, was really good. Him and his family.
Yeah.
I thought that Nicolas Cage was Nicolas Cage. He was unhinged and also very reserved at the same time. So that felt good. It looked, it was supposed to take place in the 90s. Felt like the 90s. The cars, the looks of everything, the decor and stuff, people's clothes. It's a vibe movie. It's one of those things like where you want to get in that like earth tone, gritty, dark vibe. This is the kind of movie you put on. So, hero. It's good.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so it's funny because like the movie, I feel like it's been a little bit since I watched it. It's been a couple weeks. Felt like it had two openings, right? Because you had the flashback opening where you see Longlegs. That's the name of the serial killer, for those that didn't know, played by Nicolas Cage, with this little girl at this little girl's house and everything. And and then it kind of goes to present day where it's another opening where you have the FBI agent who's somewhat clairvoyant, and that's the thing that kind of throws me off on it is like, she's psychic, but
Well,
doesn't understand the psychicness. But I
she
don't know if
is.
she's psychic or if it's just a tie
I
to
think,
Longlegs.
yeah, to me, it more felt like she just had, she was like that special employee. Like they have the touch. You know what I mean? Like there's that one person at your job that can always seems to fix the thing or always seems to figure it out, and you don't know quite how they can do it. And she just feels like that. Like maybe not psychic, but like she sees what other people don't. She connects things. I mean, these people have been looking at this trying to decipher his code for years, 30 years or whatever it is. She has it for a weekend and figures it out. So
True, but I even go to her beginning where her partner gets murdered, and like she just knows which house it is. Like she just knows which house to go to.
true. There was
And
that like she's sensing kind of thing. That was a
yeah.
crazy ass opening though. And he just knocks on the door because the camera's not focused on him. It's not focused on the door. You're focused on her. It's just in the background. You're not really even paying attention. And then blam, his whole head comes off. Well, not like literally, but somebody shoots his ass in the face.
Yeah, we don't even know who. Was it Longlegs?
Well, no, it was that guy. She goes in the back of the house and she's like, "Don't move." And he's like, "I'm not."
Oh, that's
And then
right.
they arrest him.
That's right. I was totally.
And then she has to do that weird like like that test thing where she's like, "Mother, father, piano," all this weird pictures.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what it felt like. She was like clairvoyant, right? It's not. She wasn't Clarice in Silence of the Lambs, where Clarice is like top of her class, top of this, can figure things out, does this thing. She seemed to have abilities, but I do wonder if the abilities came from. I mean, we're in spoilers, right? Like the devil worshipingness that's surrounding her, because like she's very. She plays a very like detached character, right? She has like no emotion. She plays it very stiff and very, which makes sense for the character once we get to the end, but it kind of in the beginning is like you're trying to figure out what's missing. She talks to her mom on the phone for a while there. I thought maybe it was like maybe her mom's dead and she's listening to a recording or something, because it seemed like the very same conversations each time. You know what I mean? Like, hi mom, how's it going? Coming for your birthday. Like it was like something like every year that happened. But no, we find out later, that the mom's in on it. It's just kind of nuts.
So the whole point is they're trying to find this serial killer named Longlegs who kills people without killing them. Like he somehow convinces the fathers of these families to kill the wives and the kids and then themselves. But it's always with items that are like in their house. There's never any evidence that anybody else was ever in the house, but there's always a note signed by Longlegs. That's an awesome setup. That's like, man, that is cool. Like, how do you get to the bottom?
How do you do it? Yeah.
And so that's the kind of crux of the whole story. And when you start really getting into some of the details of like some of those kills, like that's kind of spooky stuff. It's like, man, and then when you see it, you see it there at the end with her cop friend and the family, you just like, you're watching it happen in real time. Just somebody become possessed and then murder their family. Like you don't get to see it, like, but you hear him murdering his wife in the other room, and that was unsettling as shit.
Yeah.
But that all happens like right after you get the whole backstory of Micah Monroe's character and the mom.
Yeah, the mom made a deal with the devil, basically.
Well, she was supposed to be sacrificed, the little girl, by Longlegs, by Nic Cage, and she made a deal that she would help them sacrifice other families if they let her daughter live. So she just became a monster out of necessity for her kid, but she goes a little too far.
Yeah, I mean the fact that like the mom's in her boss's house, at the end, you got the whole scene thing. I guess the one thing that bothered me was like these life-size dolls with these balls. Like I don't like they never really kind of got in tune with what the ball was, like whatever the brain of these dolls were.
Well, I just assume that was like the MacGuffin. That's going to be your possessed item. That's going to be the
that gets into the house that he uses. That's
yeah.
I get it, but it was just I guess once Longlegs was taken, like it would have ended. Like you know what I mean? Like once he was out of
But
the picture.
yeah, that's kind of where I was a little confused. Is like, so if he's just the doll maker.
Yeah.
So he essentially, like, maybe he made that one last doll before he sent it off. I mean, it is kind of all centered around Micah Monroe's character. Like, she is the end game. So maybe they were like, well, it's kind of coming up on wrapping everything up anyway. So because they snatch him up and he like gets taken on purpose. So
yeah,
it has to be part of the plan. And he even says he's like, I'm not useful anymore. That's why he smashes his whole face and shit in the interrogation room. So
that was a crazy scene too. Again, more crazy Nic Cage. Like, yeah, that scene where like he went into that like hardware store. It's your birthday. Like, yeah, I watched that. I'm like, oh my god.
There was that one scene too where the mom is giving her backstory and she is talking about how she's meeting with Nicolas Cage and they just show the demon in the black veil sitting on the chair.
Yeah.
Really quickly, one time, and that's all you get of it. But it's just like, ooh, there's something fucking extra fucking dark. Like it's bad. It kind of reminds me of like the Amityville Horror in a way. Like just the thing that possesses the father to like do these crazy ass things, like just wild. But it essentially ends with. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying with Micah Monroe shooting her mom in the point blank in the head and leaving.
You with Blair Underwood's daughter, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, she shot him too. She killed him.
Yeah.
He came after her.
So it's
but
hard.
The girl is still possessed. I guess the girl still has. She still has that doll. Like they're still. No, she shot the doll in the head. She shot the doll in the head.
She did kill the doll too, and that's supposed to like you saw like a release kind of thing.
Yeah, like
kind of
black
like a release.
Smoke.
Yeah. So I don't know if that helped her because even her character seemed to be still kind of under possession, right? Because she was very muted, very.
I just feel like that's how she is. She's like that in all her movies.
I don't think she was like that in It Follows, but I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Pretty good. It's a vibe movie, man. It is. It's a lot about. It's an atmosphere movie. It's about the lighting. It's about the set design. It's about the sound design.
Yeah.
And the acting. You're not getting crazy shock on the screen here.
No.
A couple of things.
Scare things,
What
was that crazy scene too when she went to that other cop's house? The lady cop, the other lady cop.
Yeah.
The Asian cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And weren't they all? Wasn't she murdered there too? Like who murdered her? Oh my god! Now I'm drawing a blank.
You're making me draw a blank.
Yeah,
I'm picturing a whole different movie in my head right now. So
whatever.
I'm all confused.
It's good. I think you should watch it. I think you should definitely watch it. I do think that it's not going to be for everyone. I think if you're looking for kind of like just a lot of gore and jump scares, you are not going to like this. If you think it's going to be Silence of the Lambs, you are not going to like this. It's a different type of movie. So
it's a mix of all the mixed bag.
Yeah. I actually think It Follows actually makes a good comparison in the type of movie because that's another movie about atmosphere and about just
but that does have some genuinely scary shit in it.
It does. Well, crazy naked people following you. Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go. That's it for tonight. This is Lil.
And this is Steve. And until tomorrow night, everybody, keep it creepy.